Hello, what's going on everybody? My name is Peter and welcome to the first episode of EDC Contest on this channel. And today's competitors are Victorinox Pioneer Alox X and civilian version of British Army knife. The rules are going to be pretty simple. We will go through 5 different rounds. In every round, each knife can get 10 points maximum. And make sure to follow the channel because in the next episode you're going to see a comparison between these two beautiful Stockmans from Cold Steel and from Kershaw. So let's get to the round number 1, which is the tool set, the most important thing. Let's quickly have a look what tools do we have here. So Pioneer Alox X has of course a cap lifter with a wire stripper, yeah, pretty useful tool. We have a can opener, and yeah, if you watch my channel you probably know very well that I always say that it is not possible to find a can without a pull tab in my country, so I never use can openers. We have this little flathead screwdriver as well, but yeah, I don't use it. The awl is a great thing here because I think this awl is much better than the usual one. It can be used as a hole maker in a belt, for example. It works perfectly. It can be used. It is pretty sharp, so it can be used to pierce through something. It is a great thing. And the scissors. The scissors are probably the most useful tool of this knife, and yeah, they are probably one of the best tools in general when we talk about Victorinox Swiss Army knife. We all know the quality, right? So it is just a 10 out of 10. The blade is just a classic blade of Victorinox. Nothing special here. Of course, this blade is versatile and great. It's really hard to complain about this blade. And what can the British Army knife offer? So we have a flathead screwdriver here. We have a can opener, but this can opener is pretty cool because it's a cap lifter at the same time. It's also pretty sharp, so I think it can be used as some kind of backup, some kind of piercer when needed. So yeah, this can opener is pretty cool, and I never say that, to be honest. We have also a marlin spike, which is my favorite tool of this knife. I use it pretty often because my shoelaces, they don't cooperate. So I must say I love this tool. I think it's underrated and it would be hard to replace, at least for me. We have a big sheep's foot blade here, our most important tool. And yes, it is much less versatile than the blade in Victorinox, but of course I know it was designed for a purpose. And for all the people who will say that this was not designed for EDC, yes, but I decided to make this video because I saw many people out there who were considering this knife as a pretty good EDC option, and I think they are not stupid because this knife is, I think it's hard to dislike this one. Like the character of a knife, the quality, and the toolset is, I must say, pretty useful. But which toolset is better? I'm gonna give, when it comes to toolset, I'm gonna give a Victorinox 8 out of 10, and here I'm going to give 7 out of 10. And why is that? So we have a can opener and a cap lifter here. We have these tools here as well. Then I must say we have this marlin spike, which is wonderful, but I think it gets beaten by the combination of this awl, which is great, with a scissors that are super useful. And I think both these tools, I must say, the combination of having these two is it's going to be more useful than just a marlin spike. And the blade, the most important thing, I must say, I think the blade in Victorinox is much better for EDC. You can pierce with that, you can do anything. It's a better option for EDC in general. So the winner when it comes to toolset is Pioneer. But if not the scissors, it would probably be a draw because of my love for marlin spike. But I'm trying to be as objective as possible here. And of course, please keep in mind that I'm not a machine, so this video is going to be subjective. And now let's get to the round number 2, which is also super important when we talk about EDC. And this round is the ease of use. And here we're gonna talk about nail nicks, about the strength of springs, and of course the ergonomics of the handle, like how a knife feels in the hand. So when we talk about Victorinox Pioneer Alox X, I must say all tools are rather easily accessible, yeah, maybe except of these scissors, which the nail nick here is a bit hidden, and when you don't have nails, it's not gonna be super easy to pull the scissors out. And when it comes to the British Army knife, yeah, unfortunately I have to complain a little bit here because, yeah, I think this Marlin spike, which is wonderful, it's pretty hard to get to this one. Like, it is super stiff here, and I don't think it's very convenient to pull this tool yeah, out of the... And the blade, I mean, the spring is very strong here, and for example in Pioneer, the spring is strong, it is very strong, but it is not crazy strong, it is not too strong. And here, yeah, I have the version without a nail nick, I'm not sure why, but let's imagine we have this nail nick here, and I still think that this spring is here is just too crazy, you know? That's maybe I am too weak, I don't know, but I must say when it comes to EDC, I think this spring is just crazy, and it's a bit too strong. I mean, of course, it's better to have the spring that is too strong than a spring that is super weak and useless. And what about the ergonomics? What about the handle? How does it fit? How does it feel in the hand? Here, unfortunately, we have a pretty... I think this can opener, it makes a very weird and uncomfortable angle here. Like, it doesn't feel good in the hand, I must say. And when it comes to Victorinox, yeah, it is pretty straightforward and nothing really special here. Yeah, but nothing feels bad as well. And here, I think this part feels rather bad. So this round, it definitely goes to Pioneer Alox X. It's a clear winner here. I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10, and here I'm going to give only 6 points. So after 2 rounds, Pioneer leads with 16 points, and it's 3 points ahead of British Army Knife. And now round number 3, which is the quality and the construction. So it was a very simple, very easy round to score, because I am going to give a 10 out of 10 for both of these knives. At first I was going to give it to the British Army knife, but I realized that come on, I have nothing to complain about the quality of Pioneer, of course. All these pins look great, like, nothing feels cheap, nothing feels crappy, and it is of course no surprise. It's really not necessary to check the blade play here. We have absolutely zero blade play. Everything is totally fine. The spring is strong. And here, like, I will probably leave you a link in the description to a full review, because yeah, recently I recorded a full review of this knife, and the quality is absolutely great here. You have actually nothing to complain here. Come on, all these pins look great, and we have zero blade play, and nothing feels crappy, nothing feels cheap. And yeah, it's a clear draw to me here. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 when it comes to quality for the money. But if we talk about the materials, I would rather go with Pioneer, because we have these cool aluminum scales here, and of course the steel is classic stainless Victorinox steel. When the British Army knife is made of steel that is, yeah, according to my research, it is something very similar to 420. And now the round number 4, which is the weight. I think it's the least important round, because yeah, I don't really care about the weight, you know. I carry a Victorinox Ranger Grip 79, which is much heavier than these knives, but yeah, many people care about the weight, so we're gonna check that. 94 gram, and here we have 123. So yeah, we have to give a win here to the Pioneer. So yeah, let's just give 9 points for the Pioneer, and maybe 8 points for British Army knife. And now let's go to the round number 5, which is the last round, and it is a character of a knife. Of course, it's the most subjective around, but I think this aspect is a bit underrated. I always say that when it comes to EDC, I think you need to be good friends with your knife. Like, your knife has to appeal to you. At least this is the way how I see it. I think you have to like the way your knife looks. So I must say, the Pioneer looks absolutely gorgeous. It looks beautiful and elegant. It is definitely your pocket knife when you will be wearing a suit. But I am going to give this round to British Army knife because I think I like this style of this knife even more. It is military design, like it's apocalypse ready. It has also these beautiful engravings here. So I think I'm going to give British Army knife 10 out of 10 here. And yeah, but it is not some kind of domination. Don't get me wrong. I think Pioneer looks absolutely elegant and classy and beautiful. And I'm going to give 9 out of 10 points here. So the winner of first EDC contest is officially with 44 out of 50 points, Victorinox Pioneer Alox X. And the second place and the last place, unfortunately, goes to the British Army knife, which got 41 points, which is also a pretty decent score. But I think when we talk about EDC, Pioneer is a slightly better option. But I must say, I don't feel like there are any real losers tonight. I think like British Army knife, as a collector, I have to say one more thing, because there is something like collector's piece aspect, at least to me. So, I can buy Pioneer Alox X at every online store, every possible online store, at least here where I live. And the British Army knife, here where I live, it was really, really hard. It was tricky to get this one for a normal price. So if I would have to choose between these two, like if I could keep only one for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be so sure about my choice, But fortunately, I don't have to choose between these two, and the best option is, of course, just buy both of them. And yeah, I think you just cannot go wrong with any of these two, and they are also in the same price range. So yeah, I think that would be all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, please let me know which one would you go with, and make sure to follow the channel because there is more and more knife content coming soon, different EDC contests or yeah, comparisons or different reviews. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in another video.